long when Portland and Seattle were under siege, generally you got the idea from news gathering institutions that they were angry at Trump. Then how was last night explained when Antifa caused major damage in Portland and Seattle again? And I think the only thing we can conclude is that these people don't like America, and it doesn't make any difference if it's Trump or Biden. And I don't know how the Biden administration is going to handle this, but we're talking pepper ball guns, electronic control weapons, shields, fireworks, rocks, just a complete outrage in both Portland and Seattle. Both of them accommodated by failed politicians from the salon, not unlike here in Minneapolis. But it's just amazing. Seattle had property damage and objects hurled at cars. Reporters said demonstrators were protesting against Biden and law enforcement and carried a sign reading "Abolish ICE." Multiple windows shattered at the William Kenzo Nakamura Courthouse. In Denver, protesters burned the American flags in separate demonstrations that reportedly involved members of Black Lives Matter, as well as others who chanted anti-Trump and anti-Biden slogans. Authorities said earlier gatherings in Portland, which saw Antifa protesters clash with authorities as they gathered to voice dissatisfaction for Biden, forcing officers to retreat and taking at least one police bicycle. The Portland police said several events were planned in the city just hours after Biden was sworn in and implored the nation to come together. About 150 people gathered at Revolution Hall at 2 p.m., marched to the headquarters of the Democratic Party, and then rioted. They smashed windows and vandalized the building with graffiti. So there is no president that would quiet these people down.
No.
Right. This is a loosely bound group of anarchists who have nothing in common except a hatred of America.
Yes.
And now, how is Biden administration going to deal with this?
Yeah, that's what everybody's waiting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think Trump was a bit hesitant to go in there just because he feared. I'm speculating, obviously. I'd speculate that he didn't go in there fearing that he would make it worse. I don't know. Or local authorities didn't welcome him in. What's the facts?
No, local authorities did not welcome him. Remember, he wanted to send federal troops.
That's right. Yes.
And the mayors who are as competent as Small Fry said, no, we don't want you.
I think in some instances they actually agreed with the protesters, the city council members and mayors of the city.
Cities. Wheeler, Ted Wheeler, right? That's his name. Yeah, and they hate him too.
Yeah, and it was Jenny. Who's the mayor of Seattle? Jenny Durkins. Jenny. She called it a summer of love. Remember? Yeah. The summer of love.
Yeah.
It was complete vandal chaos, and last night it was out again in full force. And I looked in vain because I don't want to engage in hyperbole, but I could find no coverage of this outside Fox News, and then literally going to the Portland and Seattle papers. CNN didn't cover this. New York Times is not covering this.
Well, Joe, CNN still got to rip Trump for another, couple months.
Well, forget that. But this is a huge story.
Right.
You got away all summer, news media. You got away all summer with blaming this on Trump. Well, what are you going to do now? Biden has been no panacea for this. This is going to continue because these people, they just don't like us. They just don't like America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is Jenny Durkin, by the way. Durkin.
Andy No has been covering it, but he's obviously labeled as a right-wing journalist too. But he covers it daily.
But how can this be excused? This is utter destruction of private property, which is exactly what they want. They don't believe in private property. They don't believe in a criminal justice system. They don't believe in capitalism. They don't believe in courts. They don't believe in immigration policies. What the hell do they want? Because it won't be a pretty sight. Should the likes of them win, you don't have a country. No. What do you have?
No, you have anarchy.
You have nothing. You have nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It needs to be stamped out.
And it has to be, somebody in Portland and Seattle has to take control. That's probably not going to happen, right? I guess.
No, that's like
One
asking
Sunday.
that's like asking Fry and Lisa Bender to take
Yeah.
control. They're incapable of
Mhm.
taking control. They can't open an intersection, for God's sake.
And that's what we fear is going to happen here with
Yes.
this our worthless leadership. Have you ever been to Public Market Square in Seattle?
I've
It's
been to
so-
Seattle, but only to cover games and never really got anywhere outside of a car, an airplane, and the Kingdom.
It's a destination for tourists, and it is so cool. That's where they do the fish throwing at the fish market. It's where the very first Starbucks still stands.
That no, it doesn't anymore, Kenny. It doesn't anymore. That was destroyed last night.
Yeah, they hit it last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, we do have a bit of breaking news, and sorry, John, if
I just saw it.
if I'm
Yep.
stealing a headline from your
Go ahead.
newscast, but from
Go
the
ahead.
KSTP news desk, Rebecca Omastiak, I believe, is the reporter. 1 hour ago, Joe, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry announced that he is running for re-election. The current Democratic mayor said that he is seeking another 4-year term. Quote, "Over the last 4 years, we've confronted opportunity and hardship together," Fry said in a statement.
No, he hasn't.
"I look forward to continuing to serve Minneapolis as we move into a new era with a shared commitment to build a more vibrant and just city." Okay there, Jakey.
I'm so glad I'm out of that hellhole. Oh, God. Oh, praise the Lord.
Oh, Minneapolis, you're in such trouble. Well, the Twin Cities are. Let me start over. Every city closest to the country's tallest buildings is in trouble. Everyone.